Well, that's probably a good segue. Why don't we talk about the Memorial Pool Complex? It's been
Yeah.
the whole thing's been renovated in the past 9 or 10 years, I believe. Can you tell us a little bit about it and the membership and that
Absolutely.
type of thing?
Well, first of all, it's a municipal pool, and it's membership only. It's not an open walk-in pool. You have to sign up for membership. We have a number of different membership categories, ranging from full family membership, children, parents, etc., to single memberships, to parent and child memberships. And we try to accommodate the different types of families that are existing today in our community, so that they don't have to pay more than they need to pay. The pool is technically a utility, which means that it runs on the funds collected from its members. And so we don't take any taxpayer money for running this pool, operating the pool, or for any of the pool staff or the lifeguards or anything like that. It's all run through the membership fees. And at the pool, I don't know if we can really look around and see it, but just a quick overview. You mentioned it's been fully renovated, and it's been done. It definitely has been, because it's such a quality asset. It's such a quality piece of an asset in this town that has such a value to our citizens. We have a waiting list to get in, but just on the pool itself, we've renovated the upper area, which I don't know if you can see back to my right. We have a dive tank, we have 2 slide tanks, and we have a lap pool. And that's all was renovated about 7 or 8 years ago, and it's fantastic. The kids love it, and the lap swimmers love it. And then a year later, we went and did the bathrooms and the locker rooms. They were renovated to make them clean and more pleasant and brighter and more, useful for today's family. We have family bathrooms, so you could bring your child in there, and mother, can bring a son in or a daughter, to change a diaper or to just, more privacy. And then we went ahead and we renovated the main pool, which is the big, rectangular pool
Right behind us.
right behind us where we're sitting, and there's a fountain over your shoulder, which is really fun. And so this opened last year, so this is the second year that this pool's been open. And we put in a lot more entry and exit points. It used to just be a little corner where there was a ladder, and you just couldn't get her in or out of the pool. And then over my shoulder to my right back there, where maybe you can see those yellow umbrellas, that's the kiddie park. And those pools are fantastic for young families. We have 2 pools over there, and one of them is, they call it a zero entry, which is a technical term, but you'll know what I mean. It's where you gradually walk in like a beach into the water. So it's really easy for kids and their moms and dads holding their hands walking in, and it only goes to, I think, 2 feet. So we renovated all that, and it's just been fantastic. The feedback we've gotten has been tremendous.
People love the pool, and this summer has been especially busy, I know, because
It's so hot.
it's hot and dry, and so not many pool days.
We haven't missed too many pool days, yeah.
Exactly. How many members do we have here?
Well, if you count it by head count, we have close to 10,000 individuals. I think that translates into about 4,000 or 5,000 members. But we have a certain number of memberships that we make available. And then if you come in as a family, you pay $350 for your family. But if you have 4 kids, or 2 kids, or 3 kids, it doesn't matter. So when we get the memberships finalized, we'll tally it up. And we're really at our capacity. We've been at our capacity for a number of years, and we have a waiting list now. We've had a waiting list for a while. But one thing to note on the waiting list, some of our citizens might remember the lines in April outside of Town Hall, people camping out overnight, sleeping in sleeping bags, they're online for the pool. And it became kind of a cult thing. But it lost its humor after a while, because it was just...
became a nuisance.
Yeah, it became a nuisance.
For those people waiting in line.
Yeah. I know a lot of friendships were born on that line overnight, and I've heard some stories about that, but we started thinking this is not good. We have technology today that allows people to use electronic devices to sign up for things, and so we went to an online system with a waiting list. So you used to basically come that day in April. If you didn't get in, we took your name, and then we put you on the list for next year. So you had the advantage next year for the turnover. We don't do that anymore. You move into town, doesn't matter what month of the year it is, you go in, we recommend you go into the town hall, put your name on the waiting list right away. You'll get a number, you'll be told where you are in that list, and that list is always working all year long, 12 months a year. So it's a much more efficient system. And this was the first year that we went to it, and it worked out so well.
And how long is the waiting list now?
The waiting list is, we probably have about a year. The number of people on the waiting list is a couple thousand people, but we always have 2,000 or 3,000 turnover every year. You'd be surprised. I mean, I would think no one would ever quit this pool. Yeah. But people move, their kids grow up, things like that. So it's about a 2,000 to 3,000 person waiting list. But we do have about that much turnover every year. So it's very unusual if you don't get in the next year. If you miss a year, if you don't get in that year, highly likely that you will get in the following year.
Great. Well, let's talk a little bit about funding of some other and some new projects that we have online, so to speak. A few years ago, we started a user fee, whereas as any family who has a child participating in one of the leagues, they would pay a user fee per season of $10 per athlete, and that would go into the Recreation Commission user fee fund, and it was to help offset costs to improve things. Correct?
That's correct.
And that's been pretty successful. I mean, because we've been able to basically offset taxes by having families that are using those facilities pay a little additional so we can maintain them.
That's exactly right, and that was the exact intent of it. We petitioned for an ordinance about 5 years ago for this user fee. And as you said, it was meant to have the users be the ones that pay for field improvement, field maintenance, capital projects on fields, rather than the town pay for it, the taxpayers pay for it. If you're not using any of these facilities, why should you pay for it? So it was a move to kind of go into that direction. And we've had this user fee now for 4 years. And as I mentioned, it's meant for capital projects. It's defined in the ordinance what it's meant for. And we've done things like we're renovating the basketball courts at Windsor Park. That's going to happen in the next couple of months, actually. Right behind us is Memorial Field, which is a big facility for girls softball, for recreation soccer, for the Westfield Soccer Association. We put in new backstops and safety fencing over there for the softball players. We just finished a drainage project. The field was not draining well at all, and it would puddle up after rain, and you couldn't use it for sometimes days. So if anyone ever walks that field, you'll see little strips, here and there. It looks like a little underground system, which is what it is, and it collects the water and drains much better now. And then in the fall, with user fees again, we're going to go in there and we're going to do some turf dressing. So we're going to go in there, we're going to do aeration, we're going to do some grading, we're going to do some reseeding in certain areas, and we're going to put new backstops on the backstops that have not been replaced yet. So that's all going to be done with user fees.
Wow.
Another cool project with the user fees is that we're going to be replacing the tennis courts also that are over at Memorial Field. There's 6 courts over there. 3 of them are in okay shape. So we're going to leave those, put up new nets and so forth. But there's 3 others that are toward the woods, and those are going to all be replaced. And that project is going to happen either late this year or in the spring. And that'll be all, again, user fees, improvements to recreation facilities in Westfield with no cost to the taxpayer.
Well, the Windsor Park you had mentioned, I walk by there. Debbie and I walk by there quite frequently on the way to town on weekend mornings, so I pass that regularly. And so what exactly are you going to be doing there?
Well, the neighbors in that area came to us about a year ago, and they said, this is a great little park, but it's all kind of, run down and beat up, and it'd just be great if you guys could do something with it. So we looked at it, and we had an engineer go out and take a look to see what needed to be done, and the commission approved the project. What we're going to do is we're going to put a new blacktop surface down, so the whole basketball court will be resurfaced. We're going to put up new poles, backboards, and nets. So it'll look like a brand new court. And we'll clean up the area around it, do some light landscaping, put in proper receptacles for trash and things like that. And we expect it to be a fun park for the neighbors in that area, for anyone in town, quite frankly, to go over there and shoot hoops.
Oh, great.
So we're excited about that.
Yeah, I know it's a very active park. A lot of people use that over there.